All right. How's everybody doing, friends? I want to start off this video by shouting out everybody that survived this January. Not a lot of us did. This is sure to be a longer video than my other full year-end wrap-ups. We're in the crazy times now. Getting ready to start the third week of what's guaranteed to be the most disastrous and dangerous presidential administration in the history of the United States. And I say that without 1 ounce of hyperbole. The executive orders that he signed on day one all were terrible things, a lot of them illegal, and not one of them regarded the economy or the price of eggs or the price of gas. And thoroughly 2/3 of them were based off of Project 2025, which for the last couple weeks of his campaign, he swore he knew nothing about, even though half of the writers of the thing are in his cabinet now, and he knew how unpopular that was once people started becoming aware of what it was. I actually had a few arguments online with people that failed to even believe that it existed. Just can't even with these people. Meanwhile, the confirmation hearings for his cabinet picks is a whole nother sham that's going on. Because even though every person is unqualified, either personally or professionally, for the job that they're being picked for, they're almost all guaranteed to get through because the MAGA cult just has its way with these Republicans. There's just so much fear and intimidation, and MAGA just demands 100% loyalty, and that's all that matters. And the mainstream media is absolutely terrible about keeping up on all of this stuff. It's an unprecedented situation. What else do they say? It's quite abnormal. I mean, the media's sane washing of the Republican sane washing of all of this stuff. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. From the stolen election, I won't say stolen, I'll say bought. Elon and the billionaires basically bought this election, to the drones. What is up with the drones? It was just a distraction for just a little bit, and in 2 days, it's out of the news cycle. I haven't heard about the drones in 2 months. So what's up with that? What happened with the drones? January kicked off with double terrorist attacks, 5 hours apart on January 1st. California burned to the ground. And now we're having all these plane crashes and plane collisions. I had a 20-minute script written for each one of these events, and now it's all just been reduced to a blurb in this video. And through it all, we were guaranteed to have the right-wing propaganda machine just churning full speed ahead, flooding the zone with the blatant disinformation. You just have to turn on the spigot to get water in California because that's how it works. With just a little bit of research, you could find out where the ball was dropped and the perfect storm literally that happened that caused that all to happen. Yes, there was a little bit of mismanagement, but there was nothing that was going to stop that. I'm not getting into details because it's just not worth it. The point is, they flood the zone and it just takes advantage of mainstream media because they just need to be objective. They need to hear. If one person says it's raining and the other person doesn't says it's not raining, instead of just looking out the window and it's seeing if it's raining or not, that's your job as a journalist. They have to hear both sides and we have to have a debate. And some things, you just look at the information and you can say, no, you are wrong. No, the media has to be objective. And they're used to the old way that politics and journalism interacted. And there was some respect. And there was an honor system. And there wasn't bad actors just blatantly lying. And they have to report it that way. The thing about the Project 2025, it says, I don't know anything about what Project 2025 is. They have to report that, he said he didn't know anything about it. Do some research and prove that he did. Do some investigative journalism and prove that he does. Oh my God. But no, they have to go with what fits nicely on a headline. And they have to go with what fits in a 3-minute blurb. And now Bob with the weather. Plus, most mainstream media, legacy media, is owned by corporations and billionaires anyway that control their narrative. And we all know Fox isn't legitimate, but now they own Twitter and Facebook and whoever else has bended the knee. And on the left, we don't even have CNN anymore because CNN CEO was right up there on that stage with all of the other billionaires. They're all compromised. And it just lessens people's trust in anything to do with that corporate mainstream media. Right when we need truth the most. For the first time in my life, free speech is being challenged. And they're literally silencing any voice of opposition to their authoritarianism. From the billionaires bending the knee to ABC caving and paying $16 million. That was not even a case that had made it to court. That was just a threat, and they just immediately bent over. I don't get it. Bring your attention to the weather girl that was fired for talking about Leon's little gesture on her personal Instagram. It's not like she stopped the weather halfway through on the air and called him a Nazi. It was on her personal Instagram and was fired for it. I have a couple of friends that work in important government jobs, and a couple of them are closing their social media accounts because of fear and intimidation and the threat of retribution. I never thought I would have to be scared of what I said, in America. And I worry because Google owns YouTube, and Google's CEO was also right up there on that stage. So if I mysteriously disappear or mysteriously unalive myself, or if my channel mysteriously gets taken down, please somebody look into that, because that's not what's happening. I'm only partially joking. I don't think I'm big enough yet to even be a blip on their radar. They're going to go after Bill Maher and Kyle Kolowski and David Pakman before they're going to come after me, but I'm only partially joking, actually. What I came here to talk about today is the flooding the zone, what they threatened that they were going to do, and what they are doing. They're trying to wear us down with rage bait, because you just can't pay attention to all of it. So you got to learn to pick your battles and know which ones are distractions, because those are the fights that they want to have. The gray areas. The things that there's no detriment on whether they win or lose. And most of those are the things that make good headlines. So those are the things that the mainstream media is going to cling on to. Like the little Roman salute. Well, is that what he did? Did he or didn't he? Or, I mean, he's just a poor little autistic child. He doesn't know what he's doing. And, well, you know what? We saw it. We know what he did. And it emboldened the right groups that proves that that's what he did. There's no point in arguing or talking about. It moves us forward nowhere to argue whether he meant it or not. It was what it was. So he's doubling down on Greenland. Do we want to take Greenland? Can we take Greenland? Are we going to buy it? No, they're not going to sell it. It just creates hyperbole that it's bluster that we just don't need to be spending any time on. The denying birthright citizenship. That seems like an important one, doesn't it? And it is important, but it's nothing that we really need to be worried about out here, because that's one that is designed to cause controversy, and it'll go into courts, and however it turns out in the end, it'll be lawfare is what they're trying to create out of that. And it's just not worth talking about right now. The attacks that he's made on the bishop that called him out for being cruel. Hopefully nothing happens to her. I hope they don't weaponize the government against that poor lady. She was right. She didn't say anything mean or nasty. It's a bunch of crap. And it's designed to create headlines. And it doesn't mean anything in the end. All of the lies about the LA wildfires. It's a bunch of crap. We know it's a bunch of crap. The people are working hard to help those people. It's unfortunate that the insurance companies are such pieces of shit that they've left a lot of those people without anything. But the thing to be more concerned about is the weaponization of aid to those people and putting stipulations on whether California gets any help from the government And as far as that goes, him talking about defunding FEMA or whatever it is, that's something important to keep an eye on. Another one to keep consideration of and to keep an eye on is the firing of the inspectors general. It's totally illegal, and once again, that'll be things that probably go into courts and will be debated for the next weeks or a couple of months. The freezing of the aid they basically froze half of the government, and all of these charities and government programs that rely on that government money are all frozen. There's old people and children that will not be getting a meal today because of freezing all of the funding. And then they undid it, but some of them are still going to be frozen, and some of them are going to be undone. I mean, it's a complete clusterfuck. But it's something they need to be being called out on a daily basis. Another concerning thing is the mass wealth transfer from the Federal Reserve to a handful of crypto tech billionaires. We should be worried about the unconstitutional deportation of thousands of vital undocumented workers, and to a lesser extent look into the fact that he basically admitted that Leon rigged the election in Pennsylvania, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, that 13, 14 days, and you can't even keep up on all of the things that have happened. So hopefully we start to get some Democrats that grow a pair and are willing to stand up to the oligarchy. Some Democrats that are not owned by corporations or elites or lobbies. They're smart enough to not be sucked into these endless, pointless debates and get to the real issues. We have 2 years before we can flip the Congress blue and truly make him a lame duck president. But until we get some of these Democrats to step up and have some balls, we may not even be able to do it then. We need universal health care. We need to end corporate welfare. And we need to tax billionaires out of existence. There's many, many other goals that would help make this country great again. But everything stems from those 3 tenets there. We need to stay strong, check on your friends, check on your gay friends, check on your black friends, check on your women friends, check on your immigrant friends. This is a dark spot in history, but we can fight this. And a lot of people won't survive it, but we need to stay strong, keep working, be good to your fellow person, be good to your own life, take care of your family. That's basically my summary of January. I'm going to go month by month now because so much happens that I can't even fit it all into a concise video, let alone wait till the end of the year. That's just crazy. This year is going to be so crazy that I will not be able to make a year-end video without it being 3 hours long. So anyway, thanks for watching this far. Watch some more of my videos. I'll see you later.